out of 4 provisional results ababeto out of 4 and provisional results nyina kire say NDC 4 a win out of 4 this year no 11 out of 19 polling station results na ba provisional results 11 out of 19 polling station results na ba ni nyina no in favor for NDC out of 4 mama yanko na yanko jisanse mu nyina inchim emba this year Ghanatube so
50.
Yes.
I see. Very well. Let's go to the gentleman on the other side now, because we have received results from 11 out of the 19 polling stations. The question is whether or not the projections we are hearing on this side of the studio reflect what we are seeing. Gentlemen, what are we looking at?
As a matter of fact, it may just be the right projections as we're seeing playing out. Because as you indicated, Kemini, we have 11 out of the 19 polling station results here on your election command center. Joseph Akable. Joseph, let's get to the magic wall right now and walk us through exactly how the picture is looking like as we speak.
I mean, people simply want to know who is in the lead at this point in time. Let's just take them directly to that. At this point in time, the NDC is leading by 164 votes. And this is out of 11 out of the 19 polling stations. Just 58% of the polling stations completed so far.
164.
164.
In favor of the
NDC.
Okay.
These are results that we've confirmed from the pink sheets that have been published at the centers where the coalition has taken place. And we have to indicate that in terms of the remaining stations, then 8 remaining stations, the fact of the matter is that the votes totaling out of those 8 stations are far in excess of 164. Precisely. And so what that tells you is that at this point in time, the NDC candidate is leading by 164 votes, but there are still more votes available. And so if she is to win, it means that the performance she is displaying in the 11 stations, she has to continue with that performance in the other 8 stations.
Absolutely.
Then we expect a victory to take place. On the other hand, if she fails to replicate that same performance, then things could change, because it's just a gap of 164. 3 or 4 of those stations, depending on the turnout. And already we know that the turnout is not looking too good.
True.
And so depending on how the turnout plays out, 3 stations could close down, gap down quickly, unless she's able to maintain that performance. And so the updates that we can give to our viewers at this point in time and our listeners on 3FM is that out of 11 polling stations, 11 out of the 19 stations, that is 58% of the results out so far, the NDC candidate Irabna Obing is leading by 164 votes.
And it's a very important context you put to the numbers as we're seeing right now, because Irabna Obing came into the contest today with a deficit of 48.
48, yes.
In favor of Nana Ekuafo.
Yes.
Now, she was strong, knowing that she's been a former member of parliament before that. What we're seeing right now, it clearly tells your story. But this 164 votes, with the voter turnout as we have seen right now playing out, it's a fundamental concern that has been raised as to whether there will be enough to overturn and then also have it flipped in her favor. But you see this, that there are so far 281 polling stations as far as we do know, a total of 281. If the numbers we're seeing from this 11 out of the 19 is anything to go by, we have so far some 273 thereabout polling stations results fully as captured here, with 8 remaining. The 8, we're going to run through the numbers to see the total eligible voters in those 8 the polling stations, and as to how that plays out as well. There's one that has come through right now as well, which is the God First polling station in the Ablekuma North constituency. That went in favor of Nana Ekuafo.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at the margins of victory for both candidates, you can understand why Irabna Obing is saying this increase in her favor of 164. Because let's look at the one that had over 645, about 645 eligible voters.
Yeah, the article.
School complex. 645. You had just a little over 200 voters turning up, and Irabna Obing polling over 100 of them, and then Nana Ekuafo just about 77.
In fact, earlier in the day when we did the analysis on the voter turnout, we made the point that it will come down to that voter turnout. The reason being that we know for a fact that whenever by-elections takes place, the voter turnout goes down. We also said that historically, if you do a longer spread from 1992 to 2024, Ablekuma North generally, they tend to do a little better than the national average. So the point that we made is that because it is a stronghold of the NPP, what it means is that if any 10 people vote and the NPP gets 7 and the NDC gets 3, it means that if less than 10 fails to show up, logically you can project soundly that the NPP is likely to lose more than the NDC. And the challenge again, which Kemini and the guests have discussed over and over, has to do with the fact that the MPP has not been consistent on whether they want to participate in this election or not. And that's why we are making the point that with what we've seen so far, the Nane Kwe would have to improve her performance in terms of the remaining 8 stations. If she's not able to change the trend and improve her performance and maintains the current performance, then the MPP may have allowed the NDC to make history.
And Joseph, that's why you heard her make the call around 1:30 p.m. when they addressed the press on the chaos that had erupted right from the beginning of the polls till around 1:30 p.m. thereabout. She, after condemning the violence, then went on to call her supporters to come out and vote. Now, at that point, the violence had already happened. The chaos had taken place, which was a demotivation for them to step out to vote. As to whether that call made any significant impact to get her voters or her supporters to come out and vote is one question that the answer would only be given in the next couple of hours ahead of us when we have the full picture of the 8 polling station results left and who is going to win this constituency. Is it Irabna Obing of the NDC or Nane Kwe of the MPP? But for now, as Joseph has just stated clearly, Irabna Obing is in the lead with 11 polling station results. It's a difference of 164 votes.
And we have to emphasize, very important emphasis is that the outstanding votes from the 8 stations far exceed 164. And so for her path to victory is to repeat the performance that she's displaying in the stations that we've recorded 11 so far. The path to victory for the MPP candidate is she has to perform much better, because the voter turnout, we've seen it already, it's not any significant, and so the turnout is not going to change. What they voted is what they voted, and so the results outcome is what she has to improve in order to change her fortunes.
Let's see. And let's go straight to a conversation right now. And Kemini, this picture also sends a certain signal of how things are going to play out, is it not?
Absolutely, and gentlemen, I was hoping you would tell us which 8 polling stations we are expecting, so that I can start to do the permutations of how this could go, as if I know the numbers. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for bringing that to us. Let me take what you have just revealed to us to Hamza, because his skin is in the game, Hamza. It's looking good for your skin in the game, because our projection is that she's already in 164 lead over the NPP candidate. It must be good news. But listen, they're saying that the path to victory is only if she's able to replicate her performance in the 11 polling stations so far. Is that possible?
It is, because the information I have shows that the NDC can, at this moment, confidently declare that we have won the Ablekuma North elections, because we are done with our coalition. And I can say with all confidence that Ablekuma North too has joined the throne.
I see.
It has turned green. But you see,
those are your projections. We'll wait for the Electoral Commission to make a formal announcement. You know that is the right thing to do.
Yes, I do. But you see, you need to appreciate you need to appreciate the National Democratic.
On when breaking news about 2 grams beginning in provisional results in Chese, NDC 4 and a winning out 11 out of 19 polling stations. NDC is in the comfortable lead of 4 shade. They were provisional results in the court. The atom say NDC 4 and NDC and winning. I'm speaking in a bro. I will Ghana to the former December liking. I must subscribe on my channel, my notification board, so I might send a bear. I bring a BB or peer content. Who wouldn't attend what you need to for aha. And I made Ablekuma not provisional results and in some course Ablekuma not in concerning a election rerun in ABC or our Ghanatube. So, other for Macramina, Pedamunase.